We don't talk quite so much these days about COVID, but in no way does that mean that the disease has gone away or the questions and thoughts surrounding it have eased up any. Our next guest is a doctor. He's an internist, also specializes in molecular and genetic work. His name is Ravi Iyer, but he has written a book called The Reaper's Dance, and I'm going to let him explain the book to you, but he has basically collected data and he presents that in this book with his own findings of the origins of COVID. Nice to talk to you this morning.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to come on board. I'm excited to be here.
So let me set you up a little bit, Ravi, because I mean, we are years now post, 4 years now since we first learned the word COVID as a household name, and yet it is still something that can be divisive for people to talk about. Certainly the virus is still out there, people will still get it, and we still don't really know the origins of it. You have collected this data. What have you discovered?
Right from the beginning of the pandemic, there were a lot of unanswered questions right from the beginning, and the authorities were always skirting around it, both from the Chinese side and in the US side. And that didn't ring right with a lot of informed people in the public, both academic scientists as well as smart, intelligent professionals. And there were a lot of people who, right from the beginning, said that this virus does not appear to be like a natural virus that jumps. Normally, when a virus jumps from the animal to the human for the first time, it behaves like a boy and girl dating for the first time. The initial interactions are tentative. You know, you go for coffee, then maybe a dinner and a movie, and before you actually progress anywhere into a. Similarly, the virus initially will infect a few people, and then it won't be spreading into the public as much. It'll take a little while, and it'll be going around in circles. COVID, from day one, exploded like wildfire. It behaved like as if it already was well acclimatized and well adjusted to infecting humans. So right from the beginning, the experts said this doesn't look right. In addition, the minute in January 1st, when the DNA sequence was released, the genetic sequence was released, David Baltimore is a Nobel laureate, and he pointed out right at the beginning, saying that there is a site here called a furan cleavage site that looks engineered. It doesn't look as if it was something that would happen naturally. And in coronaviruses, this particular site is not commonly found.
So let me pause you for just 1 second, because I want to make sure I kind of keep this going, because I know you go into great detail in the book. But while I've got you, when you're grabbing all of this data that you have compiled into the Reaper's Dance, what were your sources for that data?
Oh, all published information, authoritative information, like articles from Wall Street Journal. There is a group called Drastic that published a whole bunch of papers that they had extracted through FOIA requests, emails by the scientists who were out there, who actually in public were saying that it was natural, but between themselves, they were saying that no, it looks engineered. Mm-hmm. So they were having a private conversation pointing in one direction, but publicly they were saying, oh, no, it's a natural emergence. So this was the problem. The discrepancy in all of this was the problem. And then more recently in 2022, there was a paper that analyzed the distribution of certain genetic sites and said that the pattern in which it is distributed does not normally occur in a natural virus.
I want to go back to your work as an internist. I know you spent some time at Harvard. I think you were telling me that you yourself treated 7,000 cases of COVID. So did you ever have questions yourself as a practicing physician about these
Yeah,
origins?
yeah. Back when the pandemic came out in March 10th of 2020, I remember I had a conversation with my practice partner and I said, this virus doesn't look like it is a natural virus. There's something very fishy in the way it is spreading. Obviously, it was, and a lot of us doctors privately among ourselves were saying that it doesn't seem to have features that are consistent with the natural emergence.
Right. So
Uh, s-
I hate it. This is such a lengthy topic, which is why it was the reason for you to write this book. We don't have enough time to go into it, but I'm sure people do have questions. How can they get the book?
oh, just go on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon. Just type in the Reaper's Dance 1000 Days of COVID, and you'll get it. The book goes into the science of it. It goes into the human aspects. There are quite a few books on COVID. They all tend to talk about the science. I tended to talk about the actual people who were impacted by it in addition to the science. But you
Well,
can read it in the book.
well, we thank you so much for your time this morning. But the book again is called The Reaper's Dance, available on Amazon.